live with Jose Nunez. He is the founder of Athletics for All, AFA. He's had this business now for 3.5 years through COVID, has doubled his business and his practice and his income because of it, because he has a great passion for fitness, for nutrition, and for community. Community meeting for me right now is important because we've had to live through a community of not being able to see each other, not being able to do community through COVID, through the pandemic, and now we're getting out of there. He's learned and adapted to this process to make his business grow by helping more people. So take it over, Jose. Tell us your backstory, why you got into fitness, this health aspect. I call it wellness, overall wellness, and how you have gotten this so successful. It's great.
Sweet. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me here, Tony. It's a blessing. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Jose Nunez. I'm founder of Athletics for All, and our goal as a community, we're a fitness, health, and wellness community, and our goal is honestly to inspire each other to feel, move, and become the best version of ourselves. And it's been the biggest, the most amazing journey I've ever been a part of. And it all started with me coming from Mexico, being a 5-year-old kid, coming to the United States, honestly not knowing there was a language barrier. So there was a language barrier which caused me to feel disconnected, unworthy from everyone. And through that, I was shy, I was timid, and I didn't really have a place to be. Luckily, I got introduced to sports, and through sports, I found community, and through sports, I found movement, which led me to my passion. And I remember, waking up every morning, seeing my mom and dad working hard every morning. I was like, okay, I'm going to make a promise. So I made a promise to my mom, I made a promise to my dad, to God himself, myself. I was like, I'm going to get a football scholarship, and this is going to be my way of giving back to my mom and dad for all their hard work. And it happened all throughout high school, came senior year, got all league, you name it, all the awards, blah, blah, blah. But I remember sitting down doing my FAFSA, and it asked me, oh, what's your social security number? And I remember filling it out. I was like, So I called my mom, what's my social security number? And she's like, mijo, mom, you don't have one. I was like, what do you mean? I need this to get some financial aid to keep playing football and stuff like that. And at this moment, when coaches were reaching out, and I told them, hey, I don't receive financial aid, I don't have a social security number. And quickly, they just disappeared. They're like, sorry, there's nothing we can do. So I ended up going to community college. That was the only.
Why didn't you have? I don't know why, but why didn't you have a social security number?
I was born in Mexico, so I was undocumented.
Okay.
At the moment, yeah. So something I wasn't aware of, and so I went to Citrus. Same thing, balled out, led the team in tackles for 2 years, but this time I had some hope. I was like, all my friends, all my teammates were getting scholarships, were getting offers. And the same thing happened. Coaches were coming at me like, hey, you're going to be the perfect fit for our team. And I told them, hey, honestly, I don't have a social security number. And that's kind of when everything went downhill. Mm-hmm. I was like, how can you work so hard for something, like give it your all and commit to it, and something out of your control that you weren't aware of completely just take it away from you and just break you down? So for about 2 years, I was kind of broken. I was lost. But the only thing that kept me sane and aligned was working out and then my family. And I remember going to a conference, and one of these speakers, I remember him saying, the purpose in life is for us to tap into our gifts or skills that we all have. We all have our own unique abilities, and use them to change the world. And for 2 months, this quote kept coming back and back to my head. I'm like, why is this coming? So I was thinking. And I was like, well, I'm very family oriented. I love exercising and I love working out with people. So I was like, at this moment, that's when I became a trainer. So I was like, what can I do? So it just sparked, boom, Athletics for All. We are all athletes for the sport, the most important sport of all, called life. And it welcomes everyone, because I remember they were naming classes boot camp. I was like, no one's going to go to boot camp classes. It sounds like torture, burpees, and all these things. So I switched the name to Athletics for All, and then I was like, okay, let's start having classes outside, because everyone's so used to going from home to work to in the car to the gym, so they get no sunlight whatsoever. And most people go to the gym with their earphones on and don't socialize or talk to anyone. So those were two components I saw when I was training. I was like, so I started a Saturday class outside at the parks. And to see 25 people show up, I was like, wow, this is amazing. Although 12 of those were my family members. So it was nice. But to see that first class, to see people exercising, building relationships, smiling, hugging, giving each other high five, I like almost started crying. I was like, wow, this has set the spark again. That same drive I had to get that football scholarship, that feeling that I lost, I gained it back in classes. And to see so many people from all walks of life come together to pursue a healthy lifestyle, no matter the fitness level, no matter the age or ethnicity, none of that mattered. We all came together, build relationship, had gatherings, and honestly had the best times of our lives. And here we are today, 3.5, 4 years later, still going at it. I'm blessed to have this amazing community where everyone shows up every day and continues to be the light and leads by example. So it's been nice. I never knew I'd be a trainer. I never knew I'd be here. My whole goal, as most kids, like immigrant kids, is to go to school, get a college education, and then start working. I mean, but nowadays there's so many different ways to get to where you want to be.
Well, the thing is, like you just said, start working, then you go, okay, now how do I stay healthy while I'm start working? I have to get myself healthy now. So it doesn't matter when you start. If you start when you're 12, 20, 30, 40, you have to worry about your health. And you knew how to get healthy. You knew how to work out. You knew how to play football. But at that point, how do you now turn around and go, how do I make my passion, my business, to make my business, my if you want to call it what my reputation, my worth something.
Yeah.
And like you said, help the community also. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's funny because, go ahead.
I see a movie in the making, sir.
That's the goal. That's the goal. But it was funny because, I mean, I didn't know anything about business and stuff like that. But as a trainer, you meet so many amazing people who have different careers. And there's a couple, they're like, Jose, you need to make AFA a business. Business? What do you mean? I'm just a And so I turned it into a business. And it's funny because once I told all my clients, like, wow, congrats. That's like the first step to being like a business owner and stuff like that. And I remember coming home to my mom and dad, like, hey, AFA is a business now. And they're like, okay. Like, they have no. But I was like the happiest kid ever, and it's been nice.
Well, it makes it more, if you want to call it, official. This is not just a hobby. It's not something you do on the side. This is what you do. This is you. And it's not easy, right?
Kind of. I mean, when you love it, it's not necessarily work. Like, I enjoy going to Barnes and Nobles and sitting there for 4 hours and learning. And the more I can learn, the more service I can provide.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Yeah.
And just let the audience know too. I always look down to take notes. I'm taking notes as Jose is speaking to turn this into a podcast on the line too, and everything else we talked about earlier. With yours too, you mentioned you have a lot of clients and all over the world. What parts of the world, nation, do most of your clients we work with right now? Where do they live? Where they reside? Where they work?
Yeah, so most of them. There's a lot obviously here in California, but there's also in Texas. There's some in Michigan. There's some in Arizona, and I actually got one of my clients through my challenges. They're from Uganda.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, oh my God, I'm reaching Uganda. What's happening here? So that's been nice. So that's the beauty of the whole virtual training. And thanks to COVID, I've learned so much, and it forced me to go a different way. So now I've been doing virtual, which allows me to reach more people. And I've been able to provide a service where all you need is a pair of dumbbells and a yoga mat. And you can completely change your life, transform your body, your mental health, whatever it is, literally by being a community and a pair of dumbbells and a yoga mat.
And when you say community, is it you're working with your clients one-on-one or more group training online? Or how's your training normally work?
Yeah, so I do have my Zoom group training, and then I have my AFA 30-day transformation challenges. But I do book monthly calls with them, 15, 30-minute calls to see where they're at, see what they're doing, see what they need to work on. And then every 2 weeks, I have an AFA community Zoom call where we all come together, and that's kind of where I do a presentation, whether it's on nutrition, goal setting, a new app or whatever it is they want to learn more of, I normally present every 2 weeks through Zoom. So
Every 2 weeks. Got
every
it. Okay. And then what's your client demographic? How old are they? Male, female? How go through some of that process?
Yes, I found most of my passion in helping people who are new to this whole fitness, health, and wellness journey. So whether you're 30 to, I have the youngest one can be 11-year-old, I have 30-year-old, but my niche is normally 30 to 55. There's a lady who's 57 years old and from shape. So age is just a number. It's how you feel. It's who you surround yourself with, and it's how you nourish your body. So 30 to 55 years old is kind of where like the general population where they're starting their journey, the moms and dads.
And would you say these people that start with you, do they have an idea they've worked out before, maybe in high school, college? Now they've had, like, for example, they have kids. That's priority now. They work all day. They come home now. Okay, now my kids are getting a little bit older. How to take care of myself? Or is this people just fresh off the boat? They've never actually worked out at all.
There's most of them are fresh off the boat, which is nice because I mean a lot of them have tried different diets, have tried different exercises. So this is where I kind of get to really break it down and get them to realize that fitness to be something you enjoy doing. You shouldn't be going in there and torturing yourself for 2 hours. And then when it comes to nutrition, and if you want to get results, you don't have to starve yourself or deprive yourself from so many foods because food is not only fuel for our body but also our brain. And if you're lacking nutrients, there's so many things that can go wrong.
So and with that too, do you help your, I'm going to call them new members? Okay, let's focus on how we can help you. Not let's go to Google, let's go to Instagram, let's go to Facebook, TikTok, and find out the daily diet that happened today and not good yesterday, and this workout routine that worked yesterday, not today. Do you kind of help them focus on getting everything in one plate per se?
Oh yeah. So we definitely we have our call and then I talk about their goals, why their goals are important, and how the goals will change their life. And then that's when I create like an individualized plan for them specifically because obviously we all have different preferences when it comes to foods. We all have different goals. So you can't prescribe one specific diet to everyone. There's no way. We all started our fitness journey at different times in our lives. We have different goals, different age, different body weight. It's just, you can't. So when there's a program who gives one specific diet to everyone, it's not. You're not.
Well, it makes sense because if you're not individualizing people to what they enjoy eating or working out or doing, at that point your compliance will drop. At that point, you're not going to have success in their overall health. That makes sense. And when you talk to them and do the initial exam or initial consultation with them, what commitment do you want from them to become a member of? As Haley had asked, this lady Haley Johnson, never seen her before in my life. At that point, what kind of commitment are you looking for to become a member for AFA?
Well, commitment. It is a like month-to-month contract, but I do encourage them to show up to the workouts. Engagement is huge. So you can be part of something, but if you're not interacting, you're not engaging, then you're gonna fall off. So that's where when you engage and you see other people sharing their stories, and you get to realize that you're not the only one struggling with finding balance. You're not the only mom trying to find balance and feeling guilty for putting some me time and having to, have your kids to the side and work out and spend some time for yourself. So, yeah, there's a lot of, obviously, accountability. You got to exercise. I like to call like the big four.
Okay.
Exercise, nourishing your body, right nutrients, getting some water in, and then engaging. Yeah, so those are the big four I really encourage everyone to do consistently day after day because that's what's going to give you the most, it's going to keep you accountable and it's going to be enjoyable too because you're interacting with other people and it makes you feel like you're a part of something.
And also too, what type of time frame, you said it's month to month, the membership for AFA, what type of time frame do you expect people to start seeing results? What's the average? I know there's every individual is person, but what is the average where you feel someone's mindset about health and about a community, about engagement is part of their subconscious routine, not being, if you want to call it, coached the whole time?
Mm-hmm. So it's a 6-month program.
Good.
6-month program because that gives, you're not going to get results, let's be real, in 1 month. You
Yeah.
won't. You will, but
And
yeah,
it won't stick. It won't stay.
exactly. So once you get to 3 months, you start to learn. Plus, it's a learning process. You're going to learn about the foods you really enjoy. You're going to learn about exercising, finding balance, and your goals are always changing. So 6 months, after 6 months, they're more than welcome to start doing it on their own. But I've been blessed that they don't leave, because we're always learning, and I'm always providing new information to them constantly every month after month after month. And our goals, you might reach one goal, and then you should always set another one, and then another one, and then another one.
You're almost giving me, okay, within 2-3 months we're gonna get some physical results, some mental results for one too. But now how do we maintain that as our life changes, right? We all, as we live our lives, there's gonna be stressors that will affect us, that will either allow us to become more engaged and more, if you want to call it, involved in our health. And some things where we have another baby, another kid, you move, we have a job, we change jobs or something like that too. Our stressors will change. So now it's hard for us to focus on ourselves and our priorities. So having you in their ear all the time, in front of their face all the time, if you want to call it positive bullying, at that point allows them to stay on track, to make them to want, okay, I don't want to make Jose upset. I want him proud of me. I want Sally and John to make sure they're staying on track too. I want to be an example for my kids. Okay, I'm going to do this for them, even if it's not for me sometimes. So having that positive or even negative peer pressure allows people to maintain, stay on track. Once you get there in 6 months, you're pretty good. But how do we keep pretty good? Exactly. How do we make sure we stay here? We're not get comfortable. How do we get uncomfortable, get even better?
Exactly. You nailed it.
And with being in the word uncomfortable, I just talked to patients today about that in my office. Is what does uncomfortable mean to you with your patients? How do you present that?
To me, I mean, uncomfortable is doing the things you don't want to do. There's this thing, like for example, fear. People see fear as a negative thing, but in reality, if you change your perspective, fear is actually something that's guiding you, and if you face it, it's actually going to get you closer to where you want to be. So instead of seeing fear as something that's holding you back, see it as a guidance, as a guide that's really trying to get you to evolve and transform and get to your highest self. So that's one thing that I encourage people to do, is to change their perspective of what fear is.
Good. And with being, when you have someone, how do you know someone has gone from being fearful to, okay, I get it, now I'm being more positive? What is that usually? What do you listen for in their voice, their attitude, their results, or when they show up? How do you engage it? How do you get them? How do you feel like they're getting next level? How does that work for you?
Oh, it's all in their attitude, their character, their positivity. I mean, they express it to me. They're like, wow, Jose, I feel good. Like, I'm a lot happier. My kids, there's some who told me, like, wow, my kids told me I'm happier. Like, the fact that your kids noticed that, like, that's huge. So it's a ripple effect, because as you start to pursue a healthy lifestyle, your mood's going to elevate, and then your kids are going to start to notice that, your husband, your family members, and then they're going to want to start doing the same. They're going to want to start to exercise. They're going to want to start to eat, make better choices, and stuff like that. So,
you almost feel like, okay, now they've had some results, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling, and I want to say not even fearful, I'm feeling happier.
mm-hmm.
I'm not, when I tell someone, you won't be as grouchy anymore. Yeah. They start smiling, like, yeah, I am a little grouchy here and there. At that point, they're not as tired anymore. They go, wow, I have more energy now.
Yeah.
I want, and they even ask you probably too, I want to do more. What else can I do to help the community? Maybe FA or more, that will get myself to a healthier state.
Exactly. And it's also confidence,
Mm-hmm.
Confidence, having a lot more energy, going from not being able to do a sit-up or a push-up to doing 5, 10, like those are signs of progress. Your clothes fitting better. There's a lot of benefits. Progress isn't just a number on the scale. Progress comes in so many different ways.
Good. And you talked about push-ups, sit-ups. What's your routine that you would start someone, say someone from scratch, never worked out before, maybe even had some back or neck issues that have now been resolved, and they just don't have that confidence to start a workout? How do you get them to, what's your first steps to start them, to get them to change that fitness level in them?
Yeah. I like to do an assessment. So we do an assessment, and then from there, obviously, start with all body weight movements. And this is where most people kind of do it wrong. They go all out, and they go from 0 to 100, start to do back squats or start to do bench press. And body weight is the foundation of everything. So if you can't hold a plank, you can't do a push-up, you probably shouldn't be benching. So it's all fundamental movements: push-ups, holding a plank, squats, lunges, good mornings, hinging, pulling. Yeah, so assessing them and making sure they're able to move throughout these movements correctly. And if they can't, then that's when I obviously give them modifications to get to the next level. So that's one thing I'm big on. I do this for my challenges, my group trainings, you name it, is I always provide modifications. My goal is to make fitness enjoyable for everyone and all levels. So even when I do my challenges, I give 3 sets of movements, whether it's a modification, the prescribed movement, or an advanced one. And it's cool because that allows all of us to do have the same workout effect and have it be challenging and fun, although we're doing different movements. And just because you're doing
It's almost like part of that community, even though you may be modifying either up or down based on what's expected that day.
Yeah, exactly. And
right now, what are your workouts when you starting with someone starting their fitness? Do you have them do it every day? You have them do it for a half an hour? What's your frequency of the fitness level?
Yeah, when it comes to working out, you don't have to work out and kill yourself every day. I'll tell everyone that right now.
Yeah,
I recommend anywhere from 3 to 5 sessions a week, and whether it's walking for 45 minutes, that's working out. That's when walking's working out, cycling, doing yoga, and then of course I have my group training, which incorporates weightlifting with paired dumbbells, some hip workouts.
That's more getting into. That's more advanced, though, correct?
Yeah. But if for someone who's just starting off, body weight once or twice a week, walking twice a week, that's already 4 days you're including some movement in. And you don't have to burn yourself out every single day. This is what happens. Most people go all out when they start their fitness journey, and they work out extremely hard Monday through Saturday, and they burn themselves out. They might do it for 2 weeks, and then after that, they're like, whoa, I can't do this anymore. This is too hard.
Well, and as you're pointing to also, your physiology, your body will be able to change and adapt to something new. It takes 2-3 months. So if you try to rush it, then you get to a stress level, your body will fight you to continue that stress level. If you can give it just a little bit of temperature here and there, a little bit of work in here, that one gets used to that, you can build on top, like you're saying. That's why you're doing it 2-3 days a week, not all out 5 days. You're going to kill yourself. You're going to stop doing it. And I tell people ask me too, well, I walk when I go shopping every day. Does that count, Jose?
I mean, you're getting your steps in, but there's nothing like walking with no music, walking outside, enjoying the view, and really reflecting on your goals, praying, whatever it is you like to do. It's a big difference. I mean,
it's walking with a constant speed without bags in your hands.
Yeah.
Or I mean, you can walk with your dog if you want to. That's fine, but you're out there moving enough and routine-wise too. Mm-hmm. Talked about how do you assess someone if they did a workout? Okay, now the week next day, what do you want to ask them, or how do you want them to ask themselves when we get the next day? How do you feel to make sure they can progress to the next workout, do more advanced, or kind of maintain what they're doing now? What do you have them assess?
Yeah, so it's progressive overload. So progressive overload means you add a new stimulus over time. And most people think you have to be super, super sore after every workout. That necessarily isn't true. I mean, just because you weren't sore doesn't mean you didn't have a good workout. But I normally like to ask my people, hey, how was your workout? Did you have fun? And they normally tell me, like, you know what, Jose, that felt good, but I think I can add 5 pounds. I think that's a little more. I'm like, let's go for it. I mean, if you people got to be in tune with their body. So if you feel like you can add 5 or 10 more pounds, then add those 5 or 10 pounds. If you have a day where you're too tired or too sore, then listen to your body and chill out and take it, So
I tell people there's no show tomorrow. No bodybuilding show, right? I mean, for most of us, there's no Olympic lifting program I'm involved in, I'm sponsored by. Yeah. So give yourself time to get to the healthier event. Mm-hmm. You mentioned a good word though. You enjoyed the workout. Did you enjoy the workout? And what does that mean when you break it down? What does enjoy mean to someone? What do you expect? What do you expect sense-wise that them to feel when they enjoy it?
I mean, to make it enjoyable to me means like not burning yourself out. Like there's one thing to go in there and completely just feel trashed after you're just like, oh my God, why am I doing this? So when you start getting signs of like, why am I doing this? This isn't fun. Then that's not the way to do it. So there's a level of intensity you should be hitting consistently. There's some days that you're gonna feel amazing, you're gonna go all out. There's some days where you don't, but enjoyable means that you're able to do it sustainably for the rest of your life, long term. Yeah.
You get to the point to where, okay, if this is stressing me out, if I have a bad day and I didn't feel good last night, my kids I worked out this morning, and one of the guys I worked out with, his kid was up all night. He still worked out, but he worked out at his level, and I pushed a little more than I probably should have. But a lot of it is he's going to work out here because he just had a bad night. Tomorrow's a different day. Next day's a different day. Can we understand that wherever we are that morning? Okay, I'm going to push a little bit more, but do I want to feel good tomorrow? Will this maybe hurt myself? Will I have a bad day because I overdo it? How's this going to feel? How am I going to think today if I overdo it? And can I do enough to make sure I feel good? Again, there's no show tomorrow, so that way I can still wake up tomorrow and do the same thing tomorrow.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like your best will look different every single day.
Yes.
Your best will look different every single day, and that's something I tell my clients. And it's true. Some days you're gonna feel amazing, and you're gonna have the best workout. But there's other days you probably don't want to move, but at least you got up, did some walking, did some stretching. Like that was the best you could do that day, and that's all that matters.
You must gotta have like a subtitle of your company called "Just Show Up." Just show up. We'll figure something out for you. And when you do your group training also too, do people in a group training session, are people more positive or negative, or how does the atmosphere of the group normally?
Oh man, it's phenomenal. Like I encourage everyone to join our group training or our Saturday classes. Everyone is super welcoming. That's one key value of AFA is like we are very welcoming and we are one big family. So you can be new. Guarantee you're going to have 2 to 3 people come up to you, ask you how you're doing, ask you how your day is going, if this is your first time. But the cool thing about our group training is everyone's super encouraging, and sometimes I just let them talk, let them do their thing. Yeah, and for some people, it's like therapy session. They express, oh, I have a presentation due in 2 weeks. Like, how can you guys help me? So to see them give each other tips and clues and inspire and encourage each other, like to me, that's all I could ever ask for. It's when you're in community, it's amazing. You get to really enjoy it, and makes you realize that you're not the only one struggling with certain things.
So it makes sense to where at that point, if you're there to get healthy and around healthier people, you're going to have a healthy mindset at the same time. And yeah, I might have a good day. Johnny's not having a good day. Let me help Johnny feel better somehow, some way.
Energy.
At that point, I want to. When I'm having a bad day, I want Johnny to help me out too.
Yeah, and energy is contagious.
Yes.
The energy you throw out is exactly what you'll get back in return.
But when you feel good from working out, right? That's when you have good energy. You go, okay, how do I make this last longer by helping someone else feel better? That feeds my positive energy also.
Well, when you work out, your body releases natural happy hormones, your endorphins. So that's why you feel motivated, confident, like inspired after your workouts, because your body's releasing all these hormones, and you're like, oh my god, I feel good.
But it also blocks the stress hormones too. So that when you're blocking the stressors that made you feel bad even that day or next day.
Yeah.
And as you build up that good hormone, that cortisol, catecholamine, I mean endorphins and serotonin, at that point that becomes your normal happy level. So you go home and go, yeah, my kids thinks I'm happier for some reason. My husband or my wife thinks I'm happier now.
Yeah.
All the time.
It's a beauty, man. Exercise has so many benefits.
When going from exercise to nutrition, how do you help your clients with nutrition? How does nutrition work in your membership program? How does that work with you?
Yeah, so I like to, first of all, I tell them straight up, I'm like, you can have proteins, you can have carbs, and you can have fats. There is not one specific food group that will cause weight gain. That's not true. So first of all, I like to really get clear with them and tell them the truth and the facts when it comes to calories. I mean, if you guys don't know, but calories is the number one thing that dictates whether your weight goes up, down, or stays the same. And that's called a caloric deficit, which means you burn more calories than you consume throughout the day. caloric surplus means you consume more calories than you burn throughout the day. So that's the number one thing I break down and I tell them. Number two is you got to hit your protein. Hitting your protein will determine the difference of how you look during your process. And there's a difference between weight loss and fat loss. Yeah, it's easy to starve yourself and work out excessively and drain yourself and lose all this weight in like 2 weeks. But that's not enjoyable, it's not sustainable, and you're not maintaining muscle. So when you hit your protein goal, that's going to allow you to burn fat, retain, and keep your muscle as you're going through your process. So those are two things I go on. And then when it comes to carbs and fats, it all comes down to individuals. Some people would rather have more avocado, more of the eggs, the bacon, the cheese. Some people want more fruits, vegetables, whole grains, rice, pasta, oatmeal. So that all goes down to, that's when I individualize it more to each person. So I give them a lot of freedom.
You're doing things that they enjoy eating, just breaking down to it as a protein, carb, or fat. And you're explaining how it's good for them or not good for them, and how much you should be eating to get that physical result of looking good, feeling good, everything else.
Yeah, and I try to tell them too. It's like, if there's something that tells you you can't have fruits or you can't have proteins or you can't have carbs, like, that's not true, because our body needs protein. Proteins are the biggest building block, whether it comes to your hair, your nails, your skin, your muscles, your ligaments, your hormones, your immune system, you name it. Carbs, it's our body's primary fuel source, especially when you're working out. So if you don't have carbs, you're going to feel depleted. You're not going to have any motivation, and it also helps with muscle recovery. So we're all trying to build muscle when we're exercising. And then fats are also important because they help your body absorb all the different vitamins you're eating from these foods. And then it also helps reduce inflammation, increases cognitive functioning, and strengthens your immune system, and can help get rid of bad cholesterol. So all of them have so many benefits. So when something tells you to not eat one specific food group, I'm against that, yeah.
Well, the thing is, you basically give someone right now, if someone is a nutrition major in college, you gave them 99% of what they need to know coming out of college to apply it to their clients' their own physical health, or even just physical health. Where do you learn all your information? Where do you get most of your information from? How do you get that?
Yeah, so when it comes to the fitness, the training, I have my NASM certification, but for nutrition, I have my Precision Nutrition certification. That's like the most respected nutrition certification out there, and it's nice because it gives you different options. When people are fresh to working out or eating healthy, you don't have to count your macros or calories simply by knowing your hand portionings. So your palm is protein, thumbs is fats, and then a cupped handful is your carbs, and then veggies. So that's an easy way. Obviously, why hands? Because our hands are our size depending on our body and our height and stuff like that. So that's an easy way, and it's a plate you can take everywhere. It's a measure you can take everywhere you want. So that's an easy way to.
Like I said, you're sticking to the AFA's rule of making it enjoyable and easy and simple.
Everyone, yep.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
And then going from how do you have people do? Because some people talk about juicing and how is juicing. What's your idea on juicing? How does that work?
Okay, so when it comes to fat burners or juicing or like those weight trainers and stuff like that, none of that works. I want you guys to keep in mind that the only way you can lose weight is by being in a caloric deficit. So if a product says this will cause weight loss, please don't buy it. Please don't buy it, because science is science, and if you're in a caloric deficit, meaning you're burning more calories than you consume, you will see some results. But if a product says, for example, the juicing, if it tells you 7 days straight juicing, 3 juices a day, where are your proteins coming from? You're not having protein, so you're going to be tired, you're going to be depleted, and it's a quick fix. There is no such thing as a quick fix, man. You got to show up consistently over time and be patient. Yeah.
Well, a lot of it is, as you're mentioning, the body is self-regulating. You have to give the right things to re-regulate your body, what it's used to go from its normal to a different normal, which may be uncomfortable, might be a little bit fearful, whatever it is too. But as your body sees it as your new normal, based on what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're working out, and what your community is, at that point, it'll adjust to that over time.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like you're giving people enough time, anywhere from 3 to 6 months, to get that benefit so they can actually not stress themselves out to where the body goes into a more of a stress state.
Yeah. Well, the way I like to approach this is one habit at a time. So I always like to talk to them. All right, what's one thing you feel like where are the gaps? Where are the gaps? Whether it's, oh, I'm not having protein in all my meals. All right, so let's focus on hitting protein in all your meals, whether it's 4 ounces or 6 to 7 for men or for women, just varies. All right, so if you're not having protein in all your meals, let's focus on that for the next month or 2. Boom, you got that down. Oh, Jose, I'm not drinking water, or I'm only working out once a week. All right, once you build one habit, on to the next one. And this approach is so much better because you're not draining yourself. You're not trying to do 5 things at one and trying to make it seem like you're perfect. Because if you set expectations way too high, you're not going to get there. This is what happens with most people. They're like, okay, I'm going to eat every single meal consistently, super healthy. I'm going to work out every day. I'm going to drink my water. I'm going to do this. And then they miss one day and they feel discouraged and they feel like they failed. And then, boom, back to day 0. And then they stop.
There's not enough time for your body to adjust to all that at one time to actually your body self-regulate.
Exactly. And that's the wrong way to approach it. You got to go one habit at a time.
One thing is you're giving people, like I said before, a second ago, is giving people a way to break everything down into little steps to over time get to that big idea of feeling better, looking better, being stronger, feeling healthier.
Yeah.
And we talked about it through the show also, but I want to focus on community. Why is community so important for overall health? I know why, but they may not want to know why.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, loneliness is the number one problem in my opinion. I mean, if you're not surrounded by people, it's hard to do things alone. But when you're in community, I'm very family oriented, so having my family always being there for me, encouraging me. So there's so many benefits to community, such as encouragement, ability. You're experiencing this with so many other people who are just like you. They're keeping you you're a lot more driven. It's enjoyable. Like, we're social beings. We're meant to be in community with others. So if you try to do things on your own, it's not going to be sustainable and it's not going to be enjoyable. And we're big on that. We normally have gatherings as well. This is one thing we value. So gatherings, whether it's like a karaoke night, we go play volleyball, we go bowling, you name it. We go to a brewery and have a couple of drinks and stuff like that. It's nice because we're meeting outside of our workouts. So now you get to really meet who they really are in person with their regular clothes. And then when you build relationship and you really start to meet new people, it's like, oh, wow, this is cool. And to me, that's what community is all about, when different walks of life come together and we all have very similar values. That's key. We all have very similar values. And when you can bring those together, a movement is born. And that's where the AFA movement has been able to transform so many lives.
Where you're able to use that community, that group per se, and make that group bigger and bigger over time, but still have that core idea of what this is about. So at that point, people are drawn to that value system. And over time, if they don't have it, they want it. And then once they get it, they want to share that knowledge. They want to spread the word of what that AFA is about.
Exactly.
Tell me about your class on Saturdays. So Haley mentioned before on that Haley person. I'm not sure who she is. I think I heard her name before. But what is your Saturday class involved? What is Saturday? You mentioned that before.
Yeah, so Saturdays is nice. So we do 30 minutes of working out and then 30 minutes of stretching with Haley and her Breathe and Bloom community. Mm-hmm. I strongly encourage you guys to check her out when it comes to yoga, mindfulness, and wellness. Like, she knows everything about that. So it's cool because I like to see this as like our Sunday service. So this is our Sunday service where we all come together, we work out, forget about your busy schedule, show up on Saturdays, you meet new people, whether we do raffles, we play games, you name it. We do 30 minutes of workout, feels good, and then we follow it through with 30 minutes of stretching and doing some yoga right after. And you get the best of both worlds, you know. You exercise, you get your endorphins up, boom, you feel good, and then boom, you stretch out, which reduces the risk of injury, increases your mobility, and then the mindfulness. It's just a win-win for everyone.
Well, it applies all the AFA values of community fitness. Not nutrition as much. Maybe afterwards, grab a beer, something like that. It has to be healthy somehow for you, right?
Beer, I mean, in moderation,
Moderation, but allows you to leave that. I would assume that community event, both mental and physical health, so you have a positive weekend for the rest of the weekend.
Exactly. It's the perfect way to start a weekend. You know, some people say it's too early. 8 in the morning is not early. It's the perfect time. Early in the morning, it sets the tempo for the rest of the weekend, like you said.
8 in the morning, everyone else normally is asleep, so that gives you a chance to get out and do something before it gets too busy out there. Once the things start happening, then all of a sudden you lose control of your day. That's me. So I would get up, I do a 5:30 morning workout, 5:30 every day with my 2-on-2 group. At that point, that's my community. Yes, sometimes it does suck, but at that point, I'm home by 6 o'clock, and I can start my day that way.
Yeah.
So 8 o'clock is not early. Early 8 o'clock, I'm taking my nap at 8 o'clock. Crazy. And give me the information for your class on Saturday too.
Oh, I would have to check, but it's
Good. Since I'll put in the show later for one to as a comment later. But really, I think that show you're talking about is going to allow people to really, when they're ready to start something and be part of something, I want to call it a movement, AFA, it gives them a taste of what it's going to be like to be in community.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. That's what I would hope for. If I was starting something, okay, how do I make my body less stressed, healthier, and now able to do more things versus I feel like an old man or woman that can't do anything anymore.
Yeah.
And my spouse, my partner says I'm grouchy all the time.
Yeah, and people have to understand that this is something you're trying to incorporate for the rest of your life, not just for 2 weeks or a month. So instilling these habits one at a time that will allow you to pursue a health lifestyle for the rest of your life. And that's why everyone in AFA who has joined, none of them have left. We've all stuck together because it's more than getting results. It's about building relationships, surrounding yourself with those people who will continue to help you evolve. And you get to create some amazing memories. And that's what life is all about. Living healthy lives, creating some fun memories with the people you love the most.
And you have the community built in, so at that point, you're able to feed off of that and maintain your mentality, your mental and physical health, because it's both here instead of going back and forth.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Yeah. How big do you want to grow this thing, my friend?
Oh, man. Who knows? But I mean, I'm doing it virtual right now, so that gives me the freedom to reach as many people as I want. I mean, those of you who don't know, I also do 30-day transformation challenges. And the beauty about these is all you need is a pair of dumbbells and a yoga mat. And I put up the workout for you guys. It's on a private Instagram. And you guys can do these workouts at home at your own time. And they're only 30 minutes long. So there really isn't any excuse. We all can set 30 minutes aside for our health and to be in community with others. So I do the 30-day challenges. I have my Zoom training, and then I also we have our Saturday class. But I want to go global, and I also want to eventually open up my own place. I do love seeing people in person, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, I mean, my whole goal is to impact as many people as I can. And it's not just me; it's the beauty of AFA and everyone part of this community. Because as we all start to get results, as we all start to elevate our mood, it's a ripple effect. And it's gonna inspire those around us. So I mean, I didn't do this by myself, and it's all thanks to everyone who's joined the AFA community, who have continued to pursue a healthy lifestyle, lead by example, and really spread positivity. And I always say it, but we're here to be the light. We're here to be the light, and it all starts with you. It all starts with me. And if we can continue to do this, the light will shine on everyone around you.
Well, a lot of this you're saying is if the light's going to be there no matter what, it's when someone's ready to see the light.
Yeah.
And because you're there all the time, I see all your stuff on Instagram and everywhere else, you're always there. So it's when someone's ready, at that point you're there to let them know, hey, look, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you get started, then be part of this community over time, so you learn to live a healthy lifestyle for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
If you're 30, you have another 2 more lifetimes to live. If you're 50, around 50 like me, you have another full lifetime to live. So why not enjoy that half of your life or 2/3 of your life for in a good, healthy mental and physical health.
Amen. And it's true. I mean, it doesn't matter when you start as long as you get started. I have a lady who's 55, 60, someone 30, 45. Like, age is just a number. Your health determines on how you feel and who you surround yourself with. Yeah, so it's been nice to see so many different walks of life come together and pursue a healthy lifestyle. And I really encourage whoever's listening to this to be part of a community, get some sort of movement in, and really get educated on what foods to eat, because there's marketing out there is crazy, and they're going to try to get you to buy all these different things. And I encourage you to not fall for that and really get informed so you can really live a healthy, active, and long life.
And enjoy doing it and keeping it simple.
Keeping it simple. Amen.
In the show notes, and it'll be on Facebook and also on YouTube and everywhere else too. I'm going to put all your links to your Instagram, Facebook, your link tree, also your website, also, so people can contact you, connect with you, and get themselves to a healthier state again when they're ready, which hopefully today.
Yes.
All right. Any questions at all? Anything else you want to add for the show?
No, I just want to thank everyone here for taking the time to listen to this. And like I said, fitness is something that should be enjoyable for everyone. And when it comes to nourishing your body, I'm here to help you guys. Don't fall for any of those diets or myths. None of that will really get you to where you want to be. And most important of all, surround yourself with people who will bring out the best in you. That's the number one thing. Yes.
Good. Thank you, Jose. One big smile before we go off.
Always, man. I'm always ready to smile.
Good. I always see that to you. It's a natural thing for you.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Good deal. I'm going to turn this thing off and then contact Jose. Get yourself mind and body community ready to get healthy.
Amen.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye.